So imagine you're a black samurai in feudal Japan, minding your own damn business, and then somebody betrays your home dog, and his head get chopped off, and they was gonna kill you, but you fought really well, and they didn't want to do nothing to you, so they let you ride, they let you slide. You wasn't part of the gang anyway, because you're a black samurai in feudal Japan. Then a few hundred, maybe 1,000 years, so a few decades into the future, a video game studio decides to make a story with you in it, and people lose their shit. I mean, absolutely go crazy. They call it woke, they call it diverse, and all and be all, this is a mega franchise that has produced 23 games of the same likeness, using the same falsehoods and storytelling and dramatizations of all of the events that you could possibly think about. No one gets mad when Call of Duty does it, but they're there. People then move on to the fact that the game isn't good, which is completely subjective. Like, I've spent 117 hours on the game. Now, am I saying that the game is good? No. But I can't say it's bad because I've spent 117 hours on it. I think the game very much so does something for me that I haven't had the experience of experiencing using the other Assassin's Creed games, right? I've never done the sandbox of Assassin's Creed before. So this is my first venture into it, and going to each one of those towers and synchronizing is absolutely one of the most majestic, beautiful, jaw-dropping things I've ever seen in 4K on a video game. By far one of the best looking video games I've ever played. But I'm a fake gamer. I got a 9 to 5. I work 12-hour shifts on good days and 18-hour shifts on bad days. So whose advice am I giving? I'm not in the truth. I'm not one of you. I'm a poser. But I acknowledge that in deep downs in my heart. But now, you can't be mad about the diversity of it because it's true. It's his story. You can't be mad about the subjectiveness about the game being good or bad because some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it. So what do you base your anger on now? Well, you said Ubisoft was a failing company. Not sure why you're celebrating that. The fewer game companies we have, the fewer games you get, which really does mean the less games you're going to get. So maybe piping up that chimney isn't your best bet. Oh, I got one. The game was a flop. Go woke, go broke, right? I got some bad news for you. Let's talk about it. Clap it. Yeah. I got some bad news for you. Hey, yo, what's up? How we doing? My name is Hiro. This is Coding with Strangers. And I wanna talk about something. Yeah. I've been hitting them notes today. You feel me? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I know you angry. There's a certain demographic and group of people who just can't resist whenever I make an Assassin's Creed video. And did I farm you guys into getting a free trip to Japan later this year? Of course I did. Was it worth it? You're goddamn right. I'm going to Japan. Thanks to y'all. Because of these videos. It's great. But for the longest, I was told that Assassin's Creed Shadow was going to be a flop. Even though it was, back when I first started covering this, the most pre-ordered game in Europe and Japan for several weeks, even though it had a better opening week than any of the modern classics, other than Valhalla that came out during the pandemic, even though it was in the most highly regarded territory in space that we know. And there's a part of me that very much so understands where some demographic of people came from when they were talking about Ubisoft, because they were talking about Ubisoft, doing some really dirtbag shit, like putting out DLC and launch packs before they even set any gameplay. You know, doing shady stuff like not being clear about the prices and then refunding everyone when certain companies didn't want to do it. There was a bunch of things that you could have been mad at Ubisoft about. But being mad about the story, it just looks silly. So let's talk about the facts. Now remember that before you start typing. These are just facts. Assassin's Creed Shadow is the number one new game of 2025 in Europe. Clap it up. I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. You enjoyed your Japan trip? Can't wait to go? Hey, Ren, send me some recommendations. Send me some recommendations. I'm out here. I'm already going to Ubisoft. They invited me. Assassin's Creed Shadow was Europe's best-selling new game of 2025, beating competition from Split Fiction, Monster Hunter Wild, Mario Kart World, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, this is a bold statement. This is a bold-ass statement because we're 8 months into the year. Holiday season hasn't hit us yet. I think this is a very bold claim, but who am I to take from it? In data shared with Games Business ahead of Gamescom 2025, 71 million PC and console games have been sold across major European markets so far this year. Data up until July 28th. Yeah, so Mario Kart was barely out for 3 months. Yeah, you full disclosure. See, and this is another thing that people like complaining like, oh, you're just on their dick. I know how to read. I get stats. I'm dyslexic. I'm not dumb. I know for a fact that this number isn't probably going to be real in another 6 months. Mario Kart is going to, the Switch 2 was on course to outpace Switch 1. And Mario Kart World was a launch title. So that just put 2 and 2 together, which is a drop of 6% over the same period the year before. It includes 52 million digital copies, negative 3% year on year, and 19.7 million in physical copies, negative 9% year on year. The information comes from GSD, the official European chart company. It's the official. You feel me? Clap that shit. Bang. The official. That tracks sales in PC, consoles, and games across the continent, including both digital and physical games. You can read more about GSD below. In the total, 74% of the PC and console market across European, the digital, which is 2% up over the same period of time this year before. Assassin's Creed Shadow may have been number one new game of the year, but it wasn't the number one game. That actually best-selling European game so far is EA Sports FC. I'm assuming that's football, right? Which makes sense. I don't know of all the EA games, EA 2K, football, soccer, football, like all of those games are always going to be devastating. In the battle for the RPG, Monster Hunter Wild number 7 beat out a strong competition of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was number 10, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion Remastered, number 11, Elden Ring, and Elden Ring's Night Reign. Oh, I don't know how to say that. Number 13. I thought this game would be higher, but then again, those games are so fucking hard. So like, it I've never played because I don't like being in games no, I like easy games. I absolutely like easy games. This is one RPG missing from the list, and it's from Claire Obscurian. Okay, I heard this game was really good because the game publisher currently doesn't share data with GSD. I heard this. I saw a lot of people playing this game. The best-selling new IP is for the year Split Fiction. Wait, how is that possible? How is Split Fiction the new IP? Oh, new IP. Okay. Published by EA and developed by Hazelight, the game impressively reached number 6 in the European chart. Hazelight's previous game is Take-Two, which is in the top 20 at number 14. Damn, they got 2 games in it. Nice. So in order, it's EA top 20 games. So this is I love the title of this because it's really the number 2 game. Grand Theft Auto, which is a 13-year-old plus game, still number 3. But that's impressive for Ubisoft regardless. I just don't know if you can ever beat EA's sport games. They're just too. They have the gaming community in a chokehold. But who on this list is kind of surprising? Seeing Red Dead Redemption here is kind of surprising. Seeing Hogwarts on here is pretty. That game came out last year, no? Call of Duty. I thought Call of Duty would be high. I thought Call of Duty would be top 5. Mario didn't make it to the top 5. Kingdom Come Deliverance is 10. Battlefront, Star Wars, Elden Ring, It Takes Two. Oh, okay, It Takes Two, that's that game. Grand Theft Auto Online, Rockstar. Wait a minute. Is Rockstar Online and GTA the game, not one game? Well, what did it... Okay, but like, for Black Ops, no one's playing Black Ops the game. Everyone's playing the online. So, yeah, I think this is kind of rigged. Online, Rockstar, that's kind of rigged. NBA 2K, well, basketball's not that big. There's not a league, and the EuroLeague isn't known. F1, Tom Clancy, Rainbow, Mario 8 Deluxe, Battlefield 1. That's good data. Now, let's answer the question. Is the data good? From a point of view, is very good. The data is real. The physical game figures comes directly from retailers, and the digital download data comes directly from the publisher. This isn't data based on consumer panels or market estimates. So this ain't your feelings. This ain't this ain't my opinion. This is coming from people who have an incentive to tell the truth. Because the truth is money. However, although major publishers share their data, smaller publishers are typically absent from the chart. Nintendo also doesn't share first-party digital data with GSD either. As a result, sometimes a big game ends up missing from the chart. Okay, so this is kind of filling in that gap. For this is one, you'll notice Claire Obscurian 33 is not in the top 20, nor are Schedule 1, Repo, or Peak, which were all successful indie games on Steam. Okay, so yeah, that's super interesting. And I know why some of these smaller companies don't like sharing these numbers, because they're openly probably in the middle of negotiation for publishing. They're probably open in the market talking about publishing, or talking about getting deals, talking about expansions, talking about being bought out or being sold to or something. So they probably are being told from their negotiators not to put this information out, as it would probably make them an easy company to snipe. The one I think about is the THC, the Mortal Kombat people. They had a bunch of numbers out and everyone knew what they were doing, and they got sniped. Right? Yeah, shout out to the indie developers. That's great. Shout out to indie. I've long said this, that the death of big AAA, the death of AAA games is coming. But something that isn't happening anytime soon is y'all getting over this whole Yasuke is a samurai thing. And some of y'all got over it. Some of y'all decided to just leave it alone, because just let people enjoy video games the way they want to. But we have so many other things to be worried about in the gaming community. They're literally coming for every type of game that you can imagine that is even represented in the module of sexually arousing. God forbid the nurse in the shot skirt is above her knee. God forbid there's a morally or sexually ambiguous alien touching another alien with one of his 14 tentacles. That's what's currently happening in the gaming world right now. That's the danger right now that's happening. That's the risk we are at right now. But you are so perplexed and tied up with hating on a game that only managed to be number one with a technicality. Now, is this something that I'm going to hang my hat on and put a feather in? No, I don't care. And I'm saying that as a person that's going to Japan to see Ubisoft in person. But I have the ability to say that because I don't take this shit too serious. and maybe you shouldn't either. Go outside and touch some grass. My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers. We're number one. We're number one. Number one. I'll see you on the other side. Samurai! They're so mad about it.